Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd pop out on the GS. A couple of reasons really. I thought I'd take advantage of the sunshine, September sunshine, just after work. And the other reason is me and the GS are coming up to our 25th or 25,000 mile anniversary. So I bought this bad boy, this GS, my first adventure bike, March 2017. We're now on September 2019, so really just over 2 years, and we're coming up to 25k. It doesn't seem like 5 minutes ago that I was talking about the 20,000 mile anniversary when I was on the way to the ferry port in Portsmouth for my France D-Day tour, which you can check out on the channel. So yeah, the France D-Day tour, that was brilliant. So once we bust out of Bratton Fleming, we're going to make our way over to Dartmoor. So there's not a cloud in the sky at the moment. So Tuesday afternoon, not a cloud in the sky. It was really muggy this morning, and the sun's come out and burnt away all the clouds. So I thought I'd head over to Linton and Lynmouth as we come up to our 25,000 mile anniversary, and hopefully get the drone out over the bay. So we're going to head up, like I say, through Bratton Fleming at the moment, which is on a little village in North Devon, not far away from where I live. We're going to make our way to Chalacoon, and then towards Simmons Bath. And from there we're going to head towards Linton and Lynmouth, and hopefully, like I say, chuck the drone up. While we're there, while I'm at the 25,000 mile anniversary, I might as well go through 10 things that I hate about this bike, if I can find 10 things, and then point out all the great things about this bike. Like I said, this is my first GS, my first adventure bike. A background of sports bikes all my life, apart from some motocrosses when I was a kid and a few other like little bikes when I was racing around on fields. So we're at 24,999. By the time we get to the crossroads at the end of this road, I'm sure I would have hit that 25k, which is a big thing for me because I've never done this many miles on the same bike, and I've never done so many miles so quickly on a motorcycle. It's because me and this beast, me and Jeremiah, the GS, we've been everywhere. So we've been to Scotland, we've been to Portugal, we've been to the Picos, we've been to the Pyrenees, we've been to Wales, God knows how many times. I love Wales, I love North Wales, Brecon. Well, Brecon's technically not North Wales, but I love Brecon, and then all the way up to Snowdonia. So we're going to go this way for a change. Last time I came down this road there was snow up to the height of the hedges. It was pretty bleak up here, the roads were closed for ages, and by the time they'd cleared the roads and dug the roads clear, it rained, thawed all the snow out, and then a few days later it snowed again and we were back to square one. So I'm going to get a nice little picture of Exmoor in a second. There we go. As we make our way towards Exmoor, basically. So there it is, guys, 25,000 miles. I don't know if you can make it out on the GoPro, but trust me, it says 25,000 miles in 30 months. So I'm pretty proud of that. Like I say, I've been all over the place on this thing, and in that time I've come to, well, I've learnt a lot about the bike, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. One of the big bonuses of this bike, so one of the biggest things, just how easy it is to ride. I mean, you can ride it slow, you can ride it around here, it soaks up all the bumps, you can take it off road. I mean, I haven't got the talent to take it off anything too gnarly, too technical. and it's a big heavy bike to be doing that kind of thing anyway, so. But it's a nice easy riding position, set up nice and tall, massive handlebars, so you've got loads of leverage, and the engine is pretty, when you're pottering around, the engine's pretty docile. It will get you where you want to go without any fuss, without stacks of revs. It's got loads of torque, as we know, GS engine. Well, that's a little bit scarred, isn't it? I've never been this way on a motorbike. I've been this way in a car. Yeah, it's got loads of torque, so it'll just pull you out of trouble. Well, that little backfiring when it on the overrun in low gears is brilliant. There we go. So, like I say, it's super easy to ride, and we're talking easy to ride slow. It's got all this leverage, got a great tractable, can't even say that word, tractable engine, and it will just plod. But you get it over 5,000 revs, ride it like you stole it, and you can proper go for it. You can proper go scratching on these things, and because you've got those massive handlebars and you've got that really compliant suspension, especially with the semi-active stuff, stick it in dynamic, and it'll soak the bumps up. And because you've got the massive handlebars, massive leverage, get out of the way, pheasant, you can really throw it around. And again, because it's got that soft suspension, you can get away with stuff that you might not get away with on a more focused motorcycle. I've had both wheels sliding on this on the road, and yeah, I'm not going to curse myself, and maybe have, touching wood. It's come back to me, you know. Well, so there we go, Chalacoon. Other bonuses about this bike, like I say, you can plod along on it, go off-road on it, and you can go scratching on it. You can also throw on some panniers or a roll bag, top box, and you can pretty much live off it. For instance, when I went to Portugal, tent, cooking gear, clothes, and basically living on the road. Obviously people have taken these further afield than Portugal and the Algarve. Cute little river, cute little bridge. Won't put the GS on there, it's probably too heavy for it. Well, it would be rude not to. I don't know if I'm going the right. That's a big chicken. It's not a chicken, is it? It's cockerel. Alright. So on our way to Simmons Bath. Well, that was a nice simple little walk across, and I didn't even know that was there, that river. Just on a good beautiful day, Exmoor, Dartmoor, the two big moors. They're just lovely to ride around, so I guess I'm lucky in that way that I live so close to both of them. However, they do get quite bleak in the winter. This is the B223, brilliant road across Exmoor, especially at this time of day with no traffic around. You get the odd car just cruising along, soaking in the sights. It is a bit bumpy though in places, and of course we have the obligatory sheep, low flying clouds. So, you know, come on sheepses. So obviously caution must be had on this part. Once you cross the cattle grids, you'll often find ponies, wild ponies and Devon Reds just wandering around the road as well. So you just got to keep your eyes open. Watch out for the sheeps just relaxing at the side of the road. So it's more of a road for taking in the sights. You don't want to really be going for it down this road, just in case you come across something that's a little bit, well, unexpected. So yeah, expect the unexpected. So we've got some Alpine-esque hairpin bends here. As we drop down towards Watersmeet. Right, here we go, Watersmeet. It's lovely down here, especially in the summer. Everywhere's nice in the summer here, apart from the fact there's a trillion tourists. So if you want to come here on your bike, don't come in the peak summer, because it is busy as a busy thing. So where this car park is, down in the valley down there, there is a National Trust cottage, which is teas and stuff. There's two rivers that meet up down there. That's why it's called Watersmeet. And there's loads of walks that you can do. So you can go, if you're into bimbling and hiking. This reminds me of Cheddar Gorge a little bit, or a little bit like the Picos. So is something de los Bayos. The gorge there, which is amazing. That's sunny bright. So it's quite narrow, obviously, so you might find cars coming the other way. Sun is real. I am complaining about the sun, but I'm not complaining about the sun. I'm glad to, oh, I can't actually see. There we go. I'm complaining because it's that low. Even with my sun visor down, I can't see anything. So another good thing about the GS, it's at slow speed, it's so easy. You just pop yourself up on the pegs and you can just maneuver it so easy. Stand on the rear brake a little bit, slip the clutch, low gear, and it's really good at slow maneuvers. But for me, because I'm 5'7", quite short, I find it easier to get stood up on the pegs. Gives me even more leverage. Once you've done it a few times, it's quite confident. You can build your confidence up stood up on the pegs, and it's a super comfortable bike. But it does have its downsides, and we'll talk about those in a moment, once we've gone to the top of Countersbury Hill. So Countersbury Hill is basically on the flip side of Porlock Hill, which is like a 1 in 3. Thank you very much, car driver. So yeah, 25% incline. So the problem is I'm going to be stuck behind these cars. Not for long though, there's one. Okay, so obviously the road snakes the cliff. It's a beautiful road to ride. It's just because it's so technical, or it's where it is, you can only really focus on the road. It's a lot better when you're going downhill, because you can, all I can see at the moment is obviously what is in front of me. As I'm turning, if I'm going the other way, which will show in a bit, you actually can see all of Linton and Lynmouth because you're higher than it. So we'll save it for later. So I'm hoping once we get a little bit further along, there's a viewpoint. Sometimes the ice cream man's there. We can get the bike parked up, get the drone out, and have a little chat about the things that I don't like about Jeremiah the GS. It is so easy just to ride at these kind of paces. I don't know how fast them goes because I'm too busy looking at the road, concentrating. But you can pick a line, you can change a line, you can commit to it, you can get a bit wobbly. You can make a mistake going into a corner and you can just get it back. It's such a forgiving bike. It's so easy, like I say, so easy to ride at a colourful turn of pace. A colourful turn of pace? What kind of a sentence is that? So, just the views, guys, the views. If you've not been this way, if you've not been to Linton and Lynmouth out on your bike, then I suggest you do. So clear out to sea over to Wales, but I can't spend too much time sightseeing. We'll do that when we've stopped. We are so going over there. There's Wales, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. Peace. And there's Jeremiah the GS, 25,000 years old. That doesn't make any sense. So Jeremiah, let's get this helmet off and talk about the bad boy. It's actually, let's do that again. So Jeremiah the GS, actually, from here, it looks quite purposeful, doesn't it? You must admit, throw it on some grass, although it's sinking into the mud. I need to deal with that. So, I'm just going to go through the bracken. It looks pretty cool from here. It looks purposeful, it looks like it belongs on that there. But I'm going to do some waxing in a minute. I'm going to wax lyrical about what I love about this bike. I've done that already. We've waxed lyrical about what I love about this bike. Like I say, it's easy to ride slow, it's easy to ride quick. I'm not going to say that seat is not all day comfortable. That's not but it's comfortable enough to do a full tank, which is 220 miles sometimes, give or take. I love those wheels. I absolutely do. Yeah. I'm going to turn it that way. What a beautiful day. Absolutely stunning out here. Excuse me a second, you guys. Welcome to Exmoor. So we're just at the top of Porlock, Countersbury Hill, Porlock Hill. Wales is over there, GS is over here. What I said while we're on the bike, we're going to try and pick out 10 things that I hate about this thing, and I'm really hard pushed to find 10, but there are a few things that, little niggles, that we could talk about. First things first, she's a big old beast. She's what, 247 kilos? I'm 75 kilos. It's a big, heavy bike. It's tall as well. I'm 5'7". So 247 kilos, tall bike, which when the bike is moving, once you're moving and it's fine. You don't really feel the weight of the bike because moving down to ground level, because the engine is so low with the boxer engine, the center of gravity is quite low, so once you've got the bike moving, you don't really feel that 247k. It's when you're at the top of the Porlock bar and a car's in the way and you're on a hairpin bend and you can't reach the floor, that's when you hear it, or feel it, not hear it. What else? When you're in Portugal, again, hairpin bends, dodgy camber, and you fluff a gear change or something like that. That's when you feel the weight, and that's when you end up dropping it. Didn't drop it on the Porlock bar, but I did drop it in Portugal. And that's, like I say, tall bike, heavy bike, small, short person. That's not, my height is not the bike's problem. What else? That screen. The standard screen is rubbish. For a touring bike, or a bike that's supposed to be a tourer, go anywhere, any terrain kind of tourer, the screen is absolutely rubbish. So much buffeting, even for somebody who's short like me. Taller people, it'd be worse. But yeah, you would think BMW would get that bit right. But then, moving around to the front of the bike, it's a bit of a brick, isn't it? It's not exactly aerodynamic. Now, that's not a criticism of the bike, but that's not going to help airflow, and obviously that's going to cause turbulence, that's going to cause buffeting. And yeah, sure, she's not going to win any beauty competition, but the GS has got its own unique look, and it is kind of like, it is my favourite looking of the adventure bikes, with the exception of the Africa Twin. The Africa Twin with the motorsports colours, so what's that, the Africa Twin Sports, or whatever it is, those red, white and blue colours, that looks good. But yes, like I say, 25,000 miles, 30 months, 2.5 years. I can only really pick up the fact that A, it's big and heavy, it's tall, which obviously it's supposed to be tall for ground clearance, and the screen is rubbish. If you really want to pull things apart, you can say standard exhaust is rubbish, it looks rubbish. Show me a standard exhaust on any bike and it's not pretty, but I'm sure the manufacturers could get around that and do something about that. I love the spoke wheels on this bike. So spoked wheels, single-sided swing arm because you've got the shaft drive. No chain maintenance. Bonus. Yeah, I love that. I love those wheels. And I don't think I would have done as many miles on it in such a short period of time if I didn't like it and I didn't gel with it, if that makes sense. I get on with this bike, I understand this bike, how it works, how it feels when you're moving fast, how it feels when you're moving slow. And granted, I've been caught out from time to time, and that's basically just gravity from stationary standpoints, excuse me. So I do love this bike. Would I have another GS? Yes, I would. Would I have the 1250? Yes, I would. Am I going to get the 1250? Probably not. But that's because I don't feel like it's a massive step above what I've already got. So, like I say, a great bike if you're in the market for GS's, if you're thinking about one, or an adventure style bike, get yourself a go on one if you've not already. Because it is pretty much a do anything workhorse. You can't go on, well, unless you're really talented, mega technical trails, but the light gravel trail or the light forestry trails, no problem. Touring 200 miles to a tank, no problem. What else? Like I say, throw a tent on there, panniers, and you'll just keep going, and you wake up fresh each day, depending on how well you sleep in the bed or on the floor. So, like I say, I love this bike, and I wouldn't have done so many miles. So, really, there's those three things, would never put me off buying one if I was going to have another one, or if I was to sell that one. So, anyway, I'm going to get back on the bike. Look at the view from up here. It really is beautiful. It's really quiet, it's really peaceful. I'm going to head back home and get some food, and I'll see you in a moment on the bike. Bye bye.
Such a beautiful day, such a beautiful view. You won't be able to make out that with the GoPro, but to take my word for it, it's absolutely beautiful over there. So clear, you can see all the boats, all the ships in the sea. You can see the cliffs over the top, just over there. Factory over there, there's a factory over there. It's beautiful. So those were the 10, well, it wasn't 10 things, was it, guys? This is where I ditch it. There wasn't 10 things that I hate about this thing, but there's more stuff that I liked than didn't like. Sun is definitely in my eyes again.
So I'm just going to head back down the A39. It's been good to get out. Just get out, stretch the bike's legs, have a little chat. But my tummy says it's time for tea. The sun is so low, it's really hard to read the road. It's reflecting all over off the smooth parts of the road as well. So I know the road's not wet, but do you know when you get a wet road and the sun's reflecting, that's where it's like, where all the tarmac's worn away. But we're heading into the trees now, so that's so much better. He says, as the sun dapples through the gaps in the hedge. Here's the sun. Here comes the sun. It's not alright. It's not alright to my eyes. You okay? So as I head back towards me and home, I'd just like to say thank you for joining me today from my little bimble over to Exmoor, and obviously discussing this bike's 25,000 miles and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So again, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the ride. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the bell, and that'll basically give you notifications whenever I post something new. So until next time, guys, take it easy, stay safe. Oh, what the? What are we waiting for? I can't actually fucking see. Shit the bed. Ow, I can't actually see in the road. Excuse my French, I can't actually see. I know a car just stopped. I hope I'm not about to run into... There we go, there we go. That sun is disgusting. I actually don't like it. I can't not see where I'm going. That doesn't make sense. I can't see where I'm going. Oh, look at me with my little sunshade. Look like my hand is a... This is... It's so sunny. I can't see. It's disgusting. I can't see where it's just like I'm guessing. I can kind of see the road. There we go. I'm just following the red lights of that car. Yep. No. No, it hurts. Ow. How am I supposed to see where I'm going, sunshine?